Hey everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm going to do a little bit of an early game Goblin guide, plus some overall tips for success in the Goblin Lair to 3-star and get the maximum amount of experience you can for progressing all your heroes. We are in Season 1, and Goblin has completely changed. Today's video is sponsored by Dragonheir Silent Gods, my favorite sponsor because it's my favorite game that I've played in a long time. Be sure to join us for Season 3, Dive Deep, Battle Peak. There's a ton of new heroes, new bosses, and lots to explore. Be sure to download via Android, iOS, Mac, PC, Steam, or Epic Games if you haven't already, and use the currently working promo codes. Well, I shouldn't say completely changed, just we are here with 12 stages and only one Goblin Lair, compared to what it used to be where it was separated into 3 different locations and had different numbers of stages. So right now, I am on day 4 of this brand new server on Season 1. It's day 3 for me actually playing. And yeah, I have a cap. So you could see like 7 doesn't open for 2 more days as of now. And when I'm talking about my server, you can see I'm on day 4 right here regarding the 3-day login. My server's on day 4, but again, I am on day 3. So I just want to be clear so you guys kind of know where I'm standing when I make these videos so you can compare your experience. But I've only checked in for 3 days. So I am stuck at 6 for a couple days. Then it looks like we'll be able to do 7, 8, 9, and then we'll be stuck at 10. So you do want to be prepared to, in 2 days, be able to jump ahead. So with that in mind, you also need to be aware of this event. So we still have 4 days of the Clepsydra Torrent for me, as someone who started 1 day late. So this would be 3 days if you started with day 1 of a server. So you do have a full another day once you, I guess, get the next level of Goblin Lair unlocked, which will be 7. You'll have 1 full day to go crazy and reset heroes and use the best ones possible to push ahead in the next 3 levels of Goblin. And that's what you want to do. You want to reset. So like right now, I had already reset my heroes to be the best ones I'm going to use for Goblin. So I'm gonna start off with showing you my team with Zarloth and pushing that. Then I'm actually gonna reset and do a different budget team without Zarloth because he's more niche. Not everyone would have pulled him, and I want to try to pick something that maybe everyone can actually do with more rares and whatnot. But Charlatch we get for free now. We get Isotarian as well. He was part of my team. So this is just something pretty fun that we can actually play with. Maybe I should reset. Horus is obviously free. I think I did my first 3-star with Isotarian, but let's go ahead in here. So stage 6, getting 3 stars. I actually saved my Goblin team. So here it is, Isotarian actually instead of Horus. So in this case, I didn't actually use the normal tank situation like I would have, but hey. So this was my Goblin team, and that means I need to go reset Horus. So let me go ahead and adjust and do that. All right, so here's my team. This is the typical setup for Goblin when you have like 1 melee unit, and then the rest are ranged. We're gonna use Tio as our example here. The summons are gonna affect things a little bit, but that's okay. But the idea is to have them have everybody pushed back as far as you can, so that way that everyone has to run up to you and then they bunch together at your tank. So this is the first tip for Goblin. When it comes to my gear, I do have Zarloth here at level 70, but I beat this with 3-star before he was level 70. I do have the crown, but remember this is only going to go on 1 enemy, so it's really not doing that much. I probably should give him the bigger DPS thing, but I'm just going to leave that for now. I do have this special claw that we got as part of our story. We get this in our as we progressed. And then, yeah, he is in some blue gear. So Isotarian is in a bunch of common gear and blue gear, and I just added the bow and I just got that, but I cleared it without it before. Charlotte, I was able to get the eyeball. I got dupes of Horus, ironically enough already. But I beat this before I had the eyeball, and I put my adventurer as fire, so she's doing her AoE, and she's just in like the disc, which is like the budget version of the eyeball. It's also really good for this character, although they're not, for me, they don't have enough ascension. I ran out of materials. So this is just showing you don't really need, like, it's not like everyone needs to be at level 70, which is the max for what we can do right now, in order to beat the max that we can do right now. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go at full attack here, 30% thanks to Tio. So that's one thing that's amazing. If you guys are going to use Charlatch and Isotarian, I highly suggest Tio to go along with them, because he can easily bring this 30% in all battles, which is the legendary version of the aura. Now, if you really think you're going to stick with this for your goblin team or for other content, you're probably going to want to scroll up Tio as well. But I'm not going to do that right now. Let's just do one quick run and see how we do. Then I'm going to do a run where I change my team to another budget-friendly version of something that people will be able to accomplish without the epic artifacts added in as well. But I figured I would show my real team of what I'm actually using first. So everything with Goblin's the most important. Now, we have this whole reset period when you first start your account. And that's where you want to take advantage of resetting heroes, go do one specific content with the heroes for that, then reset the heroes again, and switch. The good thing is you can save your team presets, so it's not too bad. You just load in the same team with the same gear again, and there's no trouble. So this is my little budget team here. But Zarloth makes it feel a little bit like cheating because he's so good. But I certainly think we can do this without Zarloth. Oh, ironically, I'm not going to 3-star at my first attempt here right now. I'm a couple seconds behind. Okay, so I definitely had different gear on people, or different setups, different levels. I'm not even sure. I might have had Tio a higher level instead, because he actually is really good. Maybe over Isotarian, I had Tio 3-starred instead. But I'm dealing with a 2-star mixed in here. If we get him to 3-star and a little bit more levels on him, or not even, just the 3-star so we can put an artifact on him, that's going to make a big difference. Or just the stats you gain from starring up. So that's my almost a 3-star team as it is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and come back in with something else, and then just to show another example of something that should be pretty attainable early on. Alright, and ironically this other team, instead of taking out Zarloth and using Usha with Wilt to rare heroes, plus our 2 free heroes that we get, plus our adventurer, yeah, this definitely did better. And this just goes to show you team synergy is really important. We have 3 stars. Only one of them is level 70, Usha, who is our biggest DPS, and she's also our tank. Actually, she's not our biggest DPS. Ironically, Isotarian in pretty bad gear was our biggest DPS. And then Wilt is the enabler for Usha. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this team is one I definitely suggest most people try. So Usha in the volcanic disc is great because it gives her a little bit of survivability, plus the attack and extra damage with her ultimate, which is what this is all about. Now, while playing, we did get 2 pieces of epic gear just through, I can't remember if one of them was from a vendor, like a merchant. One of them was from a chest or something, I think. I don't remember, or they both are from chests. But I did just get these, not from dungeons. I have not got epic gear yet from Grave of Venom as of this moment. And then, yeah, she's in an HP percentage, but this 15% attack set with a crit rate glove. So, and no books on her either. Imagine once we book her. So I think this is going to probably be my go-to team for a lot of content when I need just smash is going to be Usha and Wilt. Wilt recharges faster than Usha, which is perfect because he can apply the frost Although sadly it's not 100%. So that's something to keep in mind. You might want to use the artifact on Wilt that gives an increased chance to land a debuff because he only goes up to 85% chance of inflicting frost. It can be better to use someone who has a 100% chance, honestly. So maybe I failed there. Maybe I should have used him. But Wilt has a little bit bigger range, which I like for goblins, where he has this tighter range, which can miss some of them. So that's why I went with Wilt, but you also can use Vosge here as a 100% chance to land frost with an AoE. I think he's a single target, but random. Like, there's a little bit of quirky stuff. There's also Rava to go with Usha is one of our big conversations. But when it comes to Goblin, Rava the Epic, she's not good for Goblin because this Nexus that gets created stays behind. Upon expiration, the Nexus will explode, dealing extra damage. Well, that doesn't help when you've already advanced further ahead in the stage. So Rava's actually not good for Goblin, just clear. And then there are a lot of other great AoE type frost heroes, but these ones are doing the damage, so you need someone to apply the frost in the first place. And Usha's a top tier option to do the exploding, I guess you could say. But to be fair, you could also use Usha as an applier because she has a 100% chance of inflicting frost as well. But again, a smaller range. I'd rather use Vosge as an applier and Usha as a DPS. But yeah, this team is really good. If you're just barely not 3-starring it, you want to use attack consumable if you can. So like if Usha and Wilt, actually to be fair, the Necro are even better DPS than my Usha right now. So you could use either one, but you could definitely use consumable while you farm to make sure that you're 3-starring every time so you're not missing out on extra potions. But this is a really good core team, and I just want to remind people, don't be afraid, number one, to use your consumables. Go find the resources, go make them, go actually make more. If you have Wilt here, you need 30 accuracy for Wilt to apply. If you haven't got an accuracy chest to make that easy and you are using someone like this at a low level like a 2-star and you just can't get the stats, don't forget, again, we have consumables. There's so many consumables that have accuracy. This wine one is 25 accuracy just in one thing. So use what you gotta use here, and then use your best aura for damage, ideally to push through. Like in this setup, Usha is our tank. So let's go ahead and we have no epic artifacts. You see Usha pulls them in, and now they're all in a perfect little group so people can use the AoE. Boom, smash. All right, let's go. And then same thing here. So that is a nice smash. The Fear Bearer is also going to gather them too from Isotarian. The Adventurer is really good here as well. But see, the timing is pretty good. Wilt goes before Usha goes. We didn't land Frost on everybody though. He's also not booked. Right now my Wilt is only 60% chance to land. So this could be pretty low success as far, or I guess not consistent as far as our 3-starring goes. But that's kind of what you want all through all the Goblin, no matter what the level is. It's the same principle. AoE damage, and just pay attention to your team synergy. If you have someone like Usha that does more damage when the enemy is under frost, then you better have a frost applier, right? It's kind of the goal. Yeah, this one looks like we're just going to miss the 3-star. We had a bunch of frost miss. But this is where I would say a consumable would be perfect. Just a couple seconds behind. You saw just barely. Like 1 or 2. It was 1 second behind. That's funny. So that just shows you how close this can be. And using a consumable is really helpful in this case. But they really did set us up nice with these heroes. To be able to get a couple heroes that synergize well together. We have Charlatch with his Fear Bearer. His Fear Bearer does AoE damage. So that's amazing alone. Really, really helpful. And then we have, wait, why is he? Oh, look, I'm thinking of Isotarian. Then Isotarian has, oh, hey, Hey. Isotarian has some good stats to boost the summon units now. He has this attack speed up as well. And yeah, so I just wanted to point out this team. It has good synergy. And Ice and Necrotic are a pairing for season 1. I do have the synergy, as you can see right here. I did go with Ice and Necrotic. So I do have the bonus elemental synergy overall right now. And that definitely helps. I'm not regretting that at all. I think I'm going to have some fun with my Ice and Necro heroes. And yeah, hope this video was helpful. Hope the conversation was helpful and got you guys thinking about your teams for Goblin. Just again, when it comes to priority, when this event's going to end, make sure you secure your Goblin team before you secure anything else, because Goblin is what's going to get you the rest of your heroes leveled up to make the rest of the teams. If you can't do a good AoE damage Goblin team, I would say just get a bunch of people to, you know, like level 70 and have a few extras for your other teams. But yeah, you're not going to be able to make teams for the rest of the content, or you're going to be wasteful of your stamina if you do. And speaking of being wasteful, I would strongly suggest not using legendary books on Charlatch and Isotarian, or epic books, scrolls. I would not use the scrolls for the epics or legendaries on these two heroes, ideally, because you don't know what you're going to pull for your legendary heroes, and you might not even stick with them. But I might decide to book them eventually just for the sake of content and keep using them throughout the season in case, you know what, for once we finally want to use summoners, right? We finally want to use summoners. And again, on the note of summoners, you definitely can use Tio as another strong hero with a really good aura in the team. But I think I'm going to do a mixture of like Frost for some stuff and then summoners for other stuff. And this seems like a pretty perfect Goblin team, especially considering the low levels and the easy success with only one hero at level 70. So I'll probably stick to this as a core team. Maybe I will get a different Frost applier. We'll see. But yeah, again, hope this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to download via Android, iOS, Mac, PC, Steam, or Epic Games if you haven't already. And thanks again to Dragonheir Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video.